Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for listening. This is Angie Jauncey, and here you will find all types of help for your mind, how to relax your mind, how to care for your mind, how to calm those emotions and step out of a world of living in your emotions and creating problems and creating drama and everything being so upsetting and so painful all the time, so much suffering. Moving out of that world and moving into a world where it is more calm, more logical, more something that you enjoy living a life. You start to have more energy and more focus to be able to create a life for yourself. Today I want to talk about the danger of storytelling, the danger of allowing your mind to build stories around people, around situations in your life, around different things. Mostly I want to talk first about people. And we've all had relationships, and when you're young, you think, this is the one, the story of the one. This is the one who completes me, the one who fulfills me. That's a story of the mind, and that's a story that has been passed down for generations from mind to mind. And the reason that is a dangerous thing is because when that crumbles, that relationship crumbles, or they do something that stops meeting a need of yours, then you're going to suffer deeply. When there's a story around it, it makes the suffering 100 times worse than it normally would be. For instance, say you're in a relationship, and I want to give you an example of what building a story around something means, what I mean by that. So if you're in a relationship, say you're in love, you are what you are defining as in love, meaning really what in love means is your mind is relaxed. Your mind for once is totally saturated, totally into another individual, feels so seen, so heard, so embraced. So all the things, all of its emotional and mental needs are being met 100,000%. And when that happens, if you've been listening to any of my audios, you know that's the goal. And when that happens, because you've started a new relationship, your mind relaxes and it gets quiet and you feel good. You even have different chemicals running through your body. Like your mind, instead of creating problems and dramas and creating all these unwanted emotions and unwanted behaviors, it's almost like it takes a break, and you get to feel what it feels like to feel good, to feel alive, to feel an aliveness that you've probably never felt in a long time. And then what happens is, as the relationship goes along, that person, you are also feeling a need of theirs. So both sides are feeling each other's emotional and mental needs. And then that ends. They get tired of that. They can't, maintain that quality of attention, or, other things in life come up that then threaten that, and then all the holes start to show up in this plan of yours, and it all kind of reality starts to creep back in, and you're like, oh, but I thought this was the one. Also, another thing that you can do when you're in that phase is you don't know the reason why what you're calling in love is really what you're calling is in peace. Your mind, your ego self is relaxed and out of the way because its needs are being met. So it's such a good feeling, and that the only thing we know to call it is in love. And yes, it is in love, but you got there, you got into that space by using another person. And that is the thing that will lead you to emotional pain later. So you're basically just setting yourself up for pain when reality starts to come back in, and your mind, that person can't possibly, no matter how wonderful they are, they can't possibly keep your mind's needs fulfilled 100% of the time. Maybe they can at first, because they're putting their all into it too, and you're putting your all into it, and then everything starts to relax a little bit, and life starts to, you start doing life together, and then other things pull their time and attention, other things pull them away. They can't do it. They can't possibly maintain that, and it's not their job. I need you to understand that it is not their job to meet your mental and emotional needs. And that's where we get in such trouble when we're younger and we don't really know, we're learning, but we don't know that we're supposed to meet our own emotional and mental needs. And we expect that from another person. And here's some storytelling too. So the story is, oh, well, I'm in love. That's the first part of the story. I'm in love, and this is the one. That's a story. Another story is you can build on if you're into signs and looking for messages in astrology, and you're looking into all of this other, outside information to confirm your relationship with that person. You start to build this magical story. So you can start telling some magical stories about, oh, well, they're this to me, and they were that to me, and they're it gets very complicated very quickly. And so the more stories that your mind builds around it, the more painful it will be when they can't meet all of your mental and emotional needs, or if they betray you, or if they let you down in some way, or hurt you in some way. That hurt is even more painful because you've created so many stories about the one and meant to be and so in love, and I've never felt like this before, and I'm sorry to burst the bubble, and I'm sorry to explain, shed some light on what's really happening in your mind. But all that has happened is that your ego side of your mind is getting every single need met, and it is loving it. It is relaxed, it is calm, and now you have made that other person your caretaker. And that is not where you want to be because that will just set you up for pain and suffering later. You are to be your own caretaker. You are the one to know your mental needs, know your emotional needs, and to meet those for yourself. When you can do that, and then you get really good at that, and then your mind is relaxed all on its own. You're alone, you're not in a relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship, but you're learning this for yourself, and you're getting very strong in yourself, and you're learning how to relax your mind because, maybe who you're with stopped meeting that need a long time ago. So now you're learning it wasn't their job anyway. I'm meeting this for myself. When you start to meet it for yourself and you get very strong in yourself, now when you partner up with someone who also knows how to meet their own mental and emotional needs, then that's a true relationship. There's no codependency there. That is two strong people, two very mentally and emotionally healthy, stable people in a relationship, building something together, enjoying life together, but not needy, not clingy, not desperate, not attaching, not story making, not all of the stuff that leads to pain and suffering. I hope this has helped you in some way, shape, or form today. If you are in a relationship and you have been story making, take a minute and think about those things. This may be a little bit too much for you today to do something about, but just kind of let it sink in what I've said today, and just notice, just start with a little awareness. Am I doing that? Am I expecting this other person to meet my mental and emotional needs? Do I know how to do that for myself? And if you don't, I have a course that you can take. Come join me in class. It's $97. You come in and you can do 30 days, 30 lessons. You don't have to do it in 30 days, but you have 30 lessons that will take you step by step by step to show you how to be the caretaker of your own mind and end all of this emotional world drama, pain, and suffering that can exist in relationships.